Anybody out here telling you that you're not making enough money, you're not making six figures, you're not doing it from, being an Instagram superstar or some kind of internet famous personality, anybody that's in your ear, you running across on social media, you telling you this dumb shit. Because at the end of the day, most of these people can't hold down a job themselves. They're not doing a fraction of what they're talking about themselves. And so anybody who's claiming it from a dating pool, from a social pool at the end of the day, that you're not doing enough because you got a W-2 job, that you're doing your absolute best with, that you're maxing out the opportunities of that W-2 job with, and let me be completely clear as well. We're human. I don't care how strong you are mentally. Social acceptance is buried in our DNA. It's the goal to own a home one day, to own rental real estate one day, to be a business owner one day, or to be a successful investor of some sort one day. It's the goal to be financially abundant, to literally have total control over your life, your time, and those are the people that you care about. If that's the case, then there's a group of people out here in this world, in this society, that you need to literally put your middle finger up, spit in their face and say, yeah, I'm going all the way there. At the end of the day, if your goal is anything that I just said a second ago, you want to check off those boxes, then anybody telling you that you somehow lower than them because you have a W-2 job or a 9-to-5 job, and if you're a man and you're dealing with the criticism from this new hype that women are lately talking about, having a 9-to-5 job is corny, etc. If you're anywhere around anybody who is trashing you for having a damn job, I mean that from the depths of my soul. And if you're one of those people who's been perpetuating this idea, then do the world a favor and go skydiving without a parachute. Please, go try it once. Do us all a favor. Just go skydiving without a parachute just to explore your options. Because at the end of the day, the stress and strain that you're putting on people to socially conform around something that is the stupidest shit I have ever seen in my life. It's the dumbest phenomenon on the planet. First off, who are you? What are you at the end of the day? To have such a pompous criticism of somebody who's actually contributing to society, feeding their family, and stabilized at a job. Like at the end of the day, let me tell you something. You can't own real estate if you don't, minus having an inheritance, insurance, settlement, if you don't run into a windfall of cash, you can't own any real estate, you can't start and launch a business, and you can't invest if you don't have a stable personal income, period. The most favored form of income from any form of underwriting or suitability for decent investments is going to require you to have a job. Not to mention that you're not going to build up the financial profile that you need, the cash flow, excess cash flow, the good credit that you need to get into these assets that were mentioned. Again, owning a business, buying a franchise, owning a home, buying rental real estate, investing in the stock market, you name it. Any truly significant, time-tested, proven asset class that you can get into is going to require you to need a job. And there's such a horrible stigma around a job in certain portions of our society. And I just want to speak on it as somebody who's in the financial services industry, as a banker who has a W-2 corporate job. So if you're somebody on the other end who is making these comments, or you know somebody who is, make sure you share that with them. Because at the end of the day, you can kiss my ass. At the end of the day, my W-2 job has served me beautifully because I know how to work my W-2 job into everything else that I'm looking to strive for. Now, I will give a caveat to this and put a feather in the cap of the losers that's running around criticizing W-2 jobs. If you're somebody who your W-2 job, you're not maxing out all the opportunities of it, and you're not using it as a foundation to build towards a better quality of life, to build towards financial independence, then yes, you might be a loser. That's possible. But at the end of the day, if you're working a W-2 job with it in mind, either that W-2 job is serving you really well, making a good income, you have good retirement, you're maxing out all the benefits, and honestly, your quality of life is at a point where you're okay with it, then you don't owe anybody anything. The second thing is if you're using your W-2 job and you're maxing out the benefits, building up a 401k, which is a lendable asset, and increases your net worth, have a good cash flow, which is going to allow you to save for down payments, save for the investment that you're going to put into that stock portfolio or crypto or whatever you're into. At the end of the day, if you're using your W-2 job to position you for business opportunities and asset investment opportunities, then salute to you. You're also winning. Anybody out here telling you that you're not making enough money, you're not making six figures, you're not doing it from, being an Instagram superstar or some kind of, internet famous personality, anybody that's in your ear, you running across on social media, who's telling you this dumb shit. Because at the end of the day, most of these people can't hold down a job themselves. They're not doing a fraction of what they're talking about themselves. And so anybody who's claiming it from a dating pool, from a social pool at the end of the day, that you're not doing enough because you got a W-2 job, that you're doing your absolute best with, that you're maxing out the opportunities of that W-2 job with, and let me be completely clear as well. We're human. I don't care how strong you are mentally. Social acceptance is buried in our DNA. We all want to be socially approved and accepted by our peers. Social media has thrown a real toxic wrench into that because at the end of the day, our peer group has expanded exponentially. So now we go from trying to be cool in front of our immediate family, immediate friends, coworkers, classmates, etc., to the entire world once we get on the internet. Don't get distracted by artificial forms of criticism around having a W-2 job or a 9-to-5 job. There's nothing wrong. These are the same people that would spit in the face and turn their nose up at a sanitation worker, a janitor, a maintenance person. My father was retired military, Vietnam veteran. He's retired construction. In his last founding 5 to 7 years before he got all the way out of the workforce, this man was a janitor. This is the same person that put his life on the line for this country, did 2 tours in Vietnam, one of the bloodiest and worst wars in American history. Came home and did 20 plus years in construction, broke his back in there doing carpentry work, superintendent, foreman, etc. And literally cleaning toilets was the last 5 to 7 years of his career. I wish somebody would come in my face and tell me, spit in and shit on a sanitation worker or a janitor, a garbage shoulder. I wish somebody would come in my face and do that because I'm gonna knock all their teeth out of their mouth. Yeah, I'm that kind of person. At the end of the day, I mind my business, don't bother nobody, and I'm not one of those people that jumps off the porch and go into violence, but I'm gonna see it literally on camera, cussing you out ain't enough. I'm not trying to hear it. And if you're a woman, you gotta pass. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, like anybody with that mindset, I'm telling you, at the end of the day, that's essentially what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, as long as you're making the most out of your opportunity, as long as you're not allowing yourself to get complacent and you know your family's not eating the way they're supposed to, you know you're not living the life that you're supposed to be living. Not because you're trying to keep up with social media trends, but because of your true ambitions, your true vision of your life. Your W-2 job is one of the greatest foundations, pillars, and keys to accessing that quality of life. A W-2 9-to-5 job is the basis to owning a home. It's the basis to owning real estate. It's the basis to getting funding to start or grow or acquire a business. It's the basis needed for suitability. And any decent financial advisor is not gonna let you invest without a stable income. They're not doing it. It's called suitability. If you don't have a stable income and a stable cash flow and a stable reserve, hell, if you don't even have proper insurance, a decent advisor is not gonna let you invest. They're not gonna do it for you. They're not. It's called suitability. At the end of the day, your W-2 job, your 9-to-5 job is the foundation to your first 6 figures in that work. Eventually, you get enough assets, you get your business off the ground, you get enough investments like a 401k or, equity in your home, etc. You get to the point where you can leverage assets to get other assets. But until you get to that point, which is a long journey up if you're starting from scratch, you literally need your W-2 job to fuel all of these different sexy, super cool social investments and assets. To be able to go on social media and say that you own rental property, or hell, at this day and age, even own a home, that you have a stock portfolio of 6 figures or more. So in order to hit these different social barriers of coolness, you have to have a W-2 job underneath it. You have to have a stable job. Even 1099 is more independent, but that's a less stable form of employment. Banks and lenders do not like 1099 employment. They don't. It's too inconsistent or has the potential to be too inconsistent. If I'm lending you money to start your franchise, to buy a business, to buy rental real estate, which in itself is risky, if I'm lending you the money for that, the least I need you to have is a stable, consistent income that has been predictable for a certain period of time and has the likelihood of persisting as long as you owe me on this debt. Your W-2 job and your 9-to-5 job are essential. And you should be able to hold your head up. I don't care if you're cleaning toilets, picking up trash off the curb, legitimate, you're legal, you're paying taxes, you're not out hurting nobody, and you're maxing out the benefits. Max out your retirement plans at these jobs. They're gonna become assets that you can lean on. And it's not just about it being for retirement. The whole decades in between now and retirement, they're gonna help you get your home. You can use your 401k as reserves towards buying a home, as an example. You can literally go in and not have the cash in your savings account and use your 401k as a form of reserves with many banks and many lenders to buy a home or to house hack and buy rental real estate or a multifamily unit that you can eventually turn into rental real estate. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, there's just so many different formulas of success available just from having a strong W-2 job and maxing out the benefits that employer is providing. Your W-2 job is the foundation of financial success. Don't let nobody tell you any different. The few people that go out here and they find these other nuanced ways or hustle ways to get it and make it, shout out to them. The vast majority of us, myself included, is as much of a hustler and as much of a grinder, as much of a 1099, gig worker I've been on the side and still to this day. Even my business with YouTube and content creation, all of that, I still proudly go work my W-2 job. Now, socially, it's a job that people tend to accept and think is cool or, see as a positive because I'm in banking. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't care. One of my first forms of work was helping my father clean toilets. In that last stretch of his career, I was there working. As a teenager, when I wasn't practicing for sports, I was helping my dad clean toilets and clean out clinics and offices, because that was a form of income he could get and not disrupt his Social Security and his benefits at the end of the day. So I'm just telling you passionately and from the heart, if you happen to be somebody who's dealing with the criticism, or even if you just in passing on social media and you wondering in your mind, am I really a loser? Should I really feel criticized about this? A W-2 job is a golden ticket to real financial assets. Becoming a business owner, a successful business owner, a successful investor, a W-2 job is literally the foundation if you don't run into a windfall of cash or capital or inheritance. At the end of the day, if you really started from the ground, using the skills you get from your job and all the benefits and resources that a decent employer will offer you is the foundation to real financial success. You should hold your head up high as long as you're maxing up that opportunity and literally offer whoever it is to go play in traffic. If you comment it under their social media, if it's on social media. If you run across somebody in person saying that dumbass shit, tell them to go play in traffic. You know what I'm saying? Tell them to fall down the steps with a rope around their neck because they ain't doing us no good. To all my pioneers, welcome back. To my new viewers, welcome in. I want y'all to comment down below and let me know if you dealt with this criticism before. How do you feel about your 9-to-5 job, your W-2 job? Are you leveraging it to advance yourself financially? Are you leveraging it to provide the quality of your W-2 job, providing you a good quality of life? Comment down below. Other than that, I want each and every one of you to stay focused, stay in motion. I'll see y'all soon.
This is my blueprint for financial empowerment and self-sufficiency. This is my blueprint for optimal health and body mastery. This is my blueprint for mental, physical, and spiritual momentum. This is my blueprint for prosperity.